everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Months ago, the Justice Department moved to drop the criminal charges against the former Olympian accused of vandalizing the reflecting pool on the National Mall. Prosecutors admitted the $14 million installation was rushed and flawed. Joining us now is CNN's Caitlin Polance and CNN senior legal analyst Ali Honig. Caitlin, let's start with you. This is a big admission by the Justice Department.
A big admission on two fronts, Pam. One is that they are now saying that this pool liner, it was damaged because it was installed incorrectly. And the reason it was installed incorrectly was because the Trump administration was rushing for a pool liner to be placed on the bottom of the reflecting pool as they were awaiting the July 4th, 250th celebration on the National Mall. They wanted it to be done in time, and so it was rushed. The installation was bad, and there was damage throughout that liner that the Trump administration had on the bottom of the reflecting pool. The second admission that they're making, now that was already quite a big change in posture by the administration to admit that their installation was wrong. The second thing they're doing is they are dropping a criminal case, a felony charge against David Hearn, the former Olympic canoeist. He lives up in Maryland, very close to Washington, D.C., and he had visited the National Mall. There were witnesses the Justice Department brought into the grand jury who were park police, employees of the federal government, who had said that they witnessed Hearn tearing at that reflecting pool. He had been charged with a felony because they said the damage was so significant. It amounted to more than $1,000 that he caused. Now they're entirely reversing that and saying that after the reflecting pool was drained in recent days, the Justice Department went back to look at it. They've already indicted Hearn. They already have alleged that he was the person causing this. He was a vandal. But then they went back to look at exactly what was the bottom of that pool looked like after there was water drained from it after the July 4th celebration. And Piero's office determined it looked like there was damage throughout. They didn't realize how extensive it was, and the Department of Interior then backed them up with some.
Damn, imagine that. You going down there to see the debauchery and see that it's trash. You just want to lay eyes on it. Then you get arrested and charged with a felony, okay, for destroying a pool that you had nothing to do with. But some eyewitness said, I seen him destroy it. Lock that person up, okay? Lock them up, okay? Because ain't nothing wrong than somebody more terrible than somebody lying on somebody else as a witness and say, I seen him do it. Yeah, you seen him do it. You seen him tear it up, but now you figuring it out that it was just raggedy, okay? So the person who ever seen, we need to release the name of the witness. Release the name of the witness, because that's the real criminal, okay? Getting people locked up, lying to the police, lying to the Justice Department. I'd be pissed. I would sue. I will file a lawsuit against the Justice Department. If Donald Trump could do it, then so can you. Okay, you represented this country on a grand stage as an Olympian, and here you are being charged with destroying federal property. Okay, and you're innocent. And all they're going to do is drop the charges. Now you got lawyer fees, jail fees, a mug shot, public embarrassment, all type of stuff. That's why in times like this, you just got to pee on yourself so they can double the money. That's what happened when you get in a car accident. If you pee on yourself, they double the money. I'm not sure if that's true. Have y'all ever heard that? If you pee on yourself, they double your money for public embarrassment? I wouldn't try it, but if that happens.
Some more information saying the damage was the result of a botched installation and not vandalism, not Davy Hearn's fault. We got a statement from Hearn's attorney, Norm Eisen, just a few minutes ago. He says The Trump administration's case against Davy Hearn should never have been brought. Its dismissal today does not erase the abuse of government power in arresting and charging a patriotic American who did nothing wrong. The government's approach was ready, aim, fire, and the administration owes him an apology. Pamela?
Ali Honig, what do you make of this development?
Well, Pam, I think you could see the problems with this case right away. I wrote a piece for New York Magazine. I said on air that there were some reasons to doubt the validity of this case. I did not expect it to unravel so quickly. It's a real embarrassment, first of all, for the United States Justice Department. Let's remember, first they arrest David Hearn. They charge him initially by complaint with a misdemeanor. Then they upgrade it to a felony. They get a grand jury to indict him for that felony, and then Jeannie Pirro holds a press conference where she's pounding the podium and talking about what a serious crime this is and how justice will be done. And now it turns out they dismissed the case voluntarily. And what DOJ is saying in the statement that we've received is that, well, we didn't get the full information about the state of the pool from the Interior Department until after we charge. But that's no excuse at all. It's your job as a prosecutor to get the relevant information first. You don't charge first and then figure it out. You get the information first and then charge. So it's a true embarrassment for Jeannie Pirro. It's a true embarrassment for DOJ, and they brought it on themselves.
So explain more about why it matters if the pool was already damaged or not, because the case was made before that he reached in and pulled it up and everything. What is the relevance of the fact that now they're saying, well, this wasn't the only area where it was damaged, and so therefore we're going to drop these charges?
So the actual felony charge that DOJ brought here requires prosecutors to show that the defendant caused over $1,000 worth of damage. One of the points that the defense had made is if this liner was already destroyed, then it's worthless. Then you can't cause $1,000 worth of damage. To make a rough analogy, if you already have a window that's already broken and then someone throws a rock through it, he hasn't damaged it anymore because it's already useless. So this actually doesn't even get to the point of whether David Hearn reached into the pool and ripped something up or not. Regardless, either way, they're not going to be able to show that he caused $1,000 of damage, even if he did rip it up, because now, according to the government's own admissions, the pool was already destroyed. The liner of the pool was
destroyed. I'm just looking on whitehouse.gov. There's no mention of any of this, okay? At least let out a press statement. That's what I don't like. Donald Trump was loud and wrong when they was claiming vandals cut the liner and all this stuff. And, there's such a leftist, liberal, crazed lunatic out there cutting pool liners with box cutters and shit. Like, now all of a sudden, well, we made a mistake. It was actually a terrible job being done. So millions of dollars wasted. Okay, now I wouldn't say millions, probably hundreds of thousands wasted on this algae-ridden pool. It hasn't looked great since they put it in. I don't know why you would rush a job, but I'm gonna be honest. A small pool, my uncle had his pool liner done in one day. That's a small home pool. You talking about something that's football fields long, and you telling me y'all trying to get it done in a day? Come on, man. Let's be real. That's what's wrong with it. Okay. Anything that could be done in that short amount of time, that's at this scale. You knew it was going to be a catastrophe, and they bought a whole new filtering system that just hasn't worked. And then you blamed it on an Olympian. Okay, I'm just glad he was white.
Was already destroyed, and it doesn't really matter whether
if he was black, his ass would be grass. He'll still have a felony.
He reached in there and ripped it, or reached in there and just touched it, or did nothing at all. If you can't show the $1,000, you can't make your felony charge.
But couldn't you just go and see that it was already an issue, that it was already destroyed? Like, you don't even. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I had been down there.
Now here it is. The 31st. A guy has went to jail. Okay, we still haven't seen this big, beautiful, reflective pool, and I'm not even worried about it. I ain't never seen the pool anyway. The only memory I have of this pool is Forrest Gump seeing Jenny on the podium during, the Vietnam War and him running across the reflective pool. The pool could have been damaged since Forrest ran across it, honestly. It could have been damaged for that long, and they still hadn't fixed that issue. Okay? So I'm going to blame Forrest Gump for this one, all right? Everyday people, let me know what y'all think about that one in the comment section.